tell you the easiest way that I can tell if somebody's MAGA in 30 seconds or less without talking to them. It's always the makeup for me. Clumpy eyelashes, right? Super clumpy eyelashes, not in like a cunty grunge way, like in a you just put on Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, 5 coats of it, and then just walked out of the door looking like that. You're also going to see it in the foundation. Is the foundation blended? No. Does it match the rest of the body? No. Okay, that's sus. Same thing with tans. Like, tans can be really well done. When they're not well done, always sus. When they're orange, always sus. Hair that's fried. Hair that is fried because it's been bleached blonde so many times. Cakey, unblended makeup, always a giveaway. Basically, if somebody's makeup and hair looks like it's from 2014 on Tumblr or like 2010, I'm always suspicious.
Good morning and happy holidays to our MAGA Texans. Now, you thought we were being mean when we tried to tell you that we hoped you got everything you voted for. Just heard that your holiday gift is that you no longer get overtime. So when you work those extra hours, you'll be getting straight time away from your family, time away from your loved ones, straight time. Now us, liberal maniacs, we're up here in the blue states, and when we work extra hours and time away from our family and loved ones, we'll be making overtime pay. So I'm so happy you got what you voted for. I'm so happy. If I could put a big bow on that gift, I would. Happy holidays, Texas MAGA.
Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So in today's video,
I want to preface what you're about to see by noting I am not looking for sympathy or validation here. I was just expressing some remorse and some grief and some sorrow, because I think it can help a lot of people to kind of process through that. A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that. There are moments where I'm just overcome with grief and regret, not anger, not rage, but just grief and regrets over having voted for Trump in 2016. And I get that I've come a long way. I get all that. That doesn't take away those moments. It does not take away the regret, the guilt. I mean, I could work through it, and I do that regularly for a lot of different issues, not just who I voted for in 2016, but I just wanted to document this because this is one of those moments. I just saw the Kamala Harris ad talking about how she is the president for all the people and how Trump has a history of wanting to withhold aid from people who didn't vote for him. And I was partly responsible for putting him in office. I was part of that crowd. And that's something I'm going to have to live with. And I will. But there are moments like right now where that can be overwhelming.
so it's one thing to regret your action, it's another thing to repent from your action. And yeah, the guilt will always be there. Sometimes it doesn't really go away. But sometimes you just have to tell yourself, see, I did it, but I have to accept the fact that I did it and I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, choice is yours.
A lot of people are coming on here baffled that young men voted for Trump the way that they did in this past election. But I'm not really surprised because I've been explaining this over and over and over again for 3 years now. But I'm not here to gloat. I'm just going to re-explain what I've been saying, which this election just proved to be true. Many years ago, there was this interview with a guy named Ronald Levant, the former president of the American Psychological Association, who dedicated his whole career to men's psychology, masculine behavior, like you name it. He wrote books about the stuff. And in that interview, he explained why the bad men of society sometimes act so poorly. He goes on to explain that if you take a man and instill in him traditional masculine values, like you should want to be a real man, and that being a real man means being physically strong, emotionally stoic, a leader, a provider, dominant, like the works. And then you tell him that if you aren't a real man, you aren't enough and you should feel bad about yourself and women will never love you. And then you make him feel like he isn't a real man, he is going to react in a way that you aren't going to like. But that reaction isn't going to be targeted at you, or at the very least, it's not about you. It's more about him and him needing to feel like a real man, because that's what we told him he needs to be enough for us. So it's going to be hyper masculine, meaning that it's probably going to be something that's physically violent because physical strength, or lacking empathy and emotion because emotional stoicism, or taking something that isn't his by force and wanting to control it because leadership and dominance. Is this sounding familiar? And while none of those things are okay to do, we did kind of tell them that only real men deserve love. But also in that interview, he emphasized that most men aren't like that. Why? Because they're too busy working jobs and having responsibilities and caring for their families to sit back and just ponder their masculinity. And yeah, that was true years ago, but now in 2024, more young men are unemployed than ever, and more young men are forced to live at home than ever, both because of financial and economic burdens. And that's already not great, but it also means that they have more time than ever to go online and see all the things that women have to say about men when they feel safe enough in the comfort of their own homes to talk their talk. You know, like men aren't men anymore, or we're all the real men, or a real man would blank, and then everyone is defining what a real man is for some reason. All of this to say that in 2024, we have created the perfect melting pot for this giant overreaction of masculinity from young men in particular. And then our two candidates come into the picture. And the first one goes, I'm a girl's girl. You vote for me if you want what's best for women, and also because I'm not the other guy. And then all the guys are like, well, who's the other guy? And the other guy is like, I will give you a job. I will make being a dude cool again. And he's saying all these things that are very appealing to young men and would make them actually feel like men again, hypothetically. And then they look back to candidate number one and they go, so your whole appeal is that you aren't the guy that is telling me to my face that he'll give me a job and make me feel good about being a man again. And then the candidate number one goes, yeah, pretty much. And then we're shocked that they didn't vote for her. Like, we're baffled, we don't understand this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not even saying that I agree with how they voted, because it takes 5 seconds scrolling on my page to see that my beliefs and Trump's beliefs are on very different sides of the aisle. But to say that you don't understand why young men voted this way, like to out loud say, I don't know why young men voted like that, is you just saying, I didn't care about this or take it seriously until it directly affected my life. And I'm not saying all of this just to be mean or make anyone feel bad, because I genuinely understand why Democratic women felt like this was a personal attack against them. But when the results of the election came out and those women started speaking up online, I didn't really see any of them saying, this is why this result sucks for you or why it sucks for the country. 99% of the time it was, this is why this result is awful for me or women like me. And that's totally understandable. I get it. But when that was the only thing that you had to say, really, a lot of people that didn't vote how you did felt like that was very telling.
And yes, darling, as a ready-to-be-petty recap of things that they have been lied to, which is essentially everything. A shorter list is probably what didn't they lie about. The thing they didn't lie about was the mass deportation, and honestly, they're having trouble with that. They can't find countries that are willing to take random busloads of people that they just want to oust out of here, and, as other people have pointed out, they are looking to build camps. So, the deportation is probably going to devolve into we're just going to use them all as slave labor. But I'm here to talk about the fun, the Medicare and the Social Security, and we already knew they were going after VA benefits, and it's just funny, laughable really, that these people thought a team of billionaires were going to give two shits about them. You've got a guy who was born into money, who's never had to work an honest day's life, who just buys what he wants, destroys it, and then moves on to the next thing for fun, telling the American people that their benefits are lavish and they need to be cut down. What wasteful spending it is, making sure kids have food and old people get the money they paid into Social Security and affordable healthcare. We don't even have affordable healthcare, but something that at least helps take the edge off. We need to get rid of all those things. Okay, and make contracts for my companies in those exact amounts so that that money goes straight to me because I need it. All right, not American people. Okay, efficiency means billions more for me, and you guys stick it out. Also, hurry up and have more kids because my children need servants. Yeah, the Mad Hatters are so far they either don't see it or don't care. They cannot admit what they've done. Okay, that would mean accountability. All right, so they just have to keep going. What? But we were lied to. The cheating liary liar lied to us in the 11th hour. They used us to get our tests. You mean the people who said, read Project 2025, it's out? Look, here are even videos from the people training their folks on how to do this. Look, you can even go ask ChatGPT to read it for you and tell you what it says. You didn't want to do any of those things, and now you're realizing it was lies and we were right? Hey, at least your cheese is more expensive. And you probably lost your job. You're not getting a bonus or a raise. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, you're going to be paying more taxes. So at least you have those things. At least you have those things. Ooh, and your Steeple People place is also going to jump up their tithe amount from 10% to 30. So you're going to be hit on both ends. That's what you wanted, right? That's exactly what you wanted. Don't back down now. That's what you wanted. Also, the billionaires could get richer and pocket our dollars. That's the way Jeebus wants it. Thank you for going with your convictions.
So you've heard everything they have to say, okay? That other woman who was talking about the Texas and saying that they're not going to be getting Christmas bonuses and all of that. She's so funny, right? And she was talking about the blue states having to work overtime and also get paid. It's just so funny that some people just do things without even thinking about it. Like they don't even think about how it's going to affect them or another person. They just have one ideation, like one ideology about something, and they carry it on to the end without even considering other aspect of life. I think that's what is happening right now, and it's quite amazing that they are all finding out gradually. We've not gotten to the final stage. We'll get there, but I'm just so shocked that they are finding out now after all said and done, like everything has been done. That's when they're finding out. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Okay, let's have that conversation. And please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. See you on my next video. Bye, guys.